Hey everyone, it's TooneySA here in what's hopefully going to be the final episode of the CTR original time trial tournament, with the exception of potentially the extra footage from Looper and Chambersaurus. I'm going to give them maybe a month to get that done if they want to do it, and if not, that'll wrap up the tournament. Thanks everyone that's joined from the beginning until the end. It's been a long journey, more than, approximately a year ago was when the tournament was kicking off, maybe just over a year ago, and it's finally coming to a close with this video, Oxide Station. And if there's enough interest, as I've said in a couple of the videos already, there will be a nitro-fueled tournament. So if you want to get involved in that, just drop a message in the comments of this video, or find us on Discord. The tournament wouldn't be planned just yet, but it'd be maybe not too far in the future. So, yep. Alright, without further ado, I'm going to click play on the Oxide Station video. In 3, 2, 1. Oxide Station is definitely one of the race tracks that was a bit more interesting to finish on than Turbo Track, which was the original plan. So, off the races go. And there's quite a significant skip in Oxide Station that about 10 of the races go for, which skips about 20% of the track, which will be nice. The outdoor section of the track, that is. Quite a simple skip as well for such a penultimate track. Just go up over a ledge at a certain speed, as we're about to see here over this ledge, and just do a very well timed hop, and you're over. It doesn't take too much practice. Like, I didn't know about that skip for the longest time, but I figured it out within about 5 minutes of practice, so it's quite an easy skip that intermediate runners should be able to pick up as well. Not everyone knows it, of course. Dantafanta, I think, just got it there after a bit of a shaky start, I'm not sure. Yogamoni just crossing the lap at the moment. I think he's just slightly behind Luke RF44, but it's quite close. I'm not too far behind either. Psychic Gamer a bit ahead of me as well. Roughly neck and neck with Cola Pro. Dr. Monkey Man not too far into the lap as well. Lucas Bolton just entering the lap. As with Dead A, Space Weave just crossing the line there. Nina as well, and Mum just approaching it as we speak. Brandon Black, probably the most advanced player that doesn't go for the strat. I'm not sure whether or not he just didn't know about it. Cola Pro failing it there. I'm not sure if Brandon Black just didn't know about it, or if he just didn't attempt it. Cola Pro nearly failing a second time, getting caught up on the barricade there. Dantafanta approaching the time. I'll be able to see now if Dantafanta goes for it, because I know he knows of the trick. There we go, okay. Ooh, I thought he might have gone too far. If you go too far, the game kind of doesn't know whether to load the part of the track or deload it, so gets a little bit confused. Looks like Psychic Gamer and Yoga are roughly neck and neck. Luke as well. It's really close between those three. I've dropped back a little bit. Krista Fisher not too far behind me either. Brandon Black approaching the end of lap 2. Michael Seri Bedford not doing too bad himself. Space Weeb, Mum and Cortex all in the final third of their lap 2. Nintendo Gen 64 trying the jump there and failing. I didn't realise that he was on the tier of going for that kind of trick, but he's going for it anyway. Is he going to get it that time? Straight off. Okay, so yeah, he's lost a bit of time there, even if he'd got it. A third attempt. Monkey Man getting it as well. Monkey Man infamously telling Splashy that it's a very easy trick, as I've just told you all here, but Splashy unfortunately wasn't able to get it most of the time. Dantafanta failing the trick. It's a bit of a risky trick, but like, you can literally fail it like 3 times before you lose time trying it. It just puts you in a bit of an awkward spot if you fail it. Just about missing out on a couple of the people finishing. I'm not sure if Psychic Gamer lost some time there. I just realised that he's finishing a little bit behind Yoga, Luke and myself there, so I'm not sure if he lost some time somewhere. I wasn't really looking at his screen. I'll have a look when it's the close-ups. Lucas Bolton approaching the end of his lap. Nina and Mum just about halfway through the track. Space Weeb entering the final third, not too far ahead of Nina. Dead A just starting the last couple of corners of lap 3. He's actually just behind Nintendo Gen by the looks of it. or rather just ahead of Nintendo Gen. No, Nintendo Gen's actually really far behind. I looked at the map to see where they were. I didn't realise Nintendo Gen lost that much time by messing up, but apparently he did. Is that enough to make him finishing last place? He gets the skip on this lap. That might be enough to save him, but it's a bit hard. He's going to have to really sprint around the last couple of turns here. I think Nina's just about to cross. So yeah, I think the only person he can beat at this point is Mum, and it's not looking likely. Mum is just enough ahead, I think. Yep, final lap finished. So yeah, that couple of failed attempts on lap 2 was actually enough to put Nintendo Gen in last place, which is quite surprising, really. Like, this is not a track I expected that from him. It's a shame that we didn't have Chambers and Al really replacing, I guess you'd say, myself and Cola Pro. I think if Al and Chambers were still active in the tournament, those two spots would be filled by Al and Chambers. Be interesting if Lupa was still in the tournament. Like out of those 6, I'm not really sure. Like, he definitely would be in the top 6, but who he'd take over from, I'm not really sure. That's no disrespect to Cola Pro. He's been fantastic through the tournament. He's consistently finished in the top 8 for pretty much every track. A couple of like lower finishes, but generally speaking, done consistently well. I think everyone in this particular 6 gets the trick 3 times in a row, with the exception of Cola Pro, who does get it 3 times, where he also has one failed attempt. So it's enough for him to be out of the runnings for top 6. Okay, so Yoga and Psychic roughly in the same space as is Luke. Those 3 are really tight. Marcus is actually ahead at this point, which is pretty fitting considering it's Oxide's track. Both Yoga, Psychic and MTB getting the trick. Luke as well has got the trick. Cola's, that's where Cola is like just accidentally fell off the track there. I think this is where like I fall short of the racers that finish ahead of me. It's like I'm just watching myself boost, and I usually go for safe boosts of like 60% of the gauge, 60 to 70% of the gauge filled red, instead of like 90% where you're cutting it fine. There's like a split-second decision to be done there, and I think if I'd have just got better at executing the boosts, I may have even jumped up a whole position from just being better. It's a bit hard to say though, because every single person in this top 6 deserves to be in the top 6. Currently stands MTB is still in first place, which is really awesome. But oh, okay, Psychic Gamer does fail. That explains where he lost time from. I was a bit, I was missing out on like where he had exactly dropped that kind of time. But luckily for him, he's not too far behind Cola Pro. He's maybe 5 seconds behind Cola Pro, which, given Psychic's skill with CTR, I'm sure he could make up for it. Luke and MTB, although actually this is lap 3, I was thinking it was lap 2 for a second, so maybe he can't make up for it. So Yoga gets 3rd, I think I got 4th. Cola Pro is just going to beat Psychic to the finish line here, but as you can see, Psychic did close the gap to like 3 seconds instead of like 5, so it was a better attempt. So yeah, fantastic performance from the top 6. A couple of high stake mess ups, but generally speaking it's pretty good. It feels weird calling this the mid-tier group, because like, Brandon Black, with enough practice, he definitely also would have been pushing consistently into that top 6. We forget that in Coco Park he was one of the best participants in it, so he definitely had the potential. If he'd have taken like the last couple of tracks a bit more seriously from like Polar Pass onwards. Mayo, Dr. Desert Monkey, Dante Fanta and Crystal Fisher, those 4 together, particularly Fisher, Monkey and Doctor, I think that would be a really entertaining 3-way race in of itself. If only CTR was like a stable online game, like Mayo, Dr. Desert Monkey and Fisher, like I think you could do like 10 tracks. You'd have quite even number of finishes between the 3 of them. Dante Fanta, I think, would probably like maybe win once or twice. It depends how much he practiced. He's let himself go, obviously. towards the end of the tournament. Lucas Bolton and Dr. Monkeyman have had quite a healthy rivalry for points. I think Dr. Monkeyman is just going to edge it out over Lucas Bolton, but it was a great effort. There was a lot of good performances by Lucas to at least keep him sort of relevant to the middle of the table standings. Mayo Doctor getting a successful shortcut there, which is really going to make all the difference in this fight. That's where Cola Pro drops down, and actually I didn't realise that Cola Pro even drops below Mayo Doctor because of that mistake. Lucas Bolton going for the safer route. Dantafanter actually does take the shortcut there, which is cool. I think Lucas Bolton might be the only one out of these, along with Brandon Black. Those two seem to be going for the safer option on this track. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Brandon Black actually just forgot about that being like part of the track. Because when I sat there with him, he did like his final 7 tracks just all in one sitting. And this, of course, was one of them. Looking like Brandon Black just going into the final lap there. It looks like Mayo Doctor is coming to the close of his lap 3, so I think it's safe to say that he's going to claim the top spot out of this set of people, even though Cola Pro just gets a handy shortcut there. He's too far behind. Fisher going for a safe option this time around. Desert Monkey going for the trick, he gets it, very well executed. Mayo Doctor just crossing the line there, Dantafanter falling off apparently, losing some time there, precious time to rivals Fisher, who is approaching that area. Cola Pro just finishing there, we've seen already Cola Pro's finish. Still like quite a distance between Cola and Mayo though, it's pretty insane. Monkeyman, I didn't realise he was there. Okay, Monkeyman's actually done a really good finish there ahead of Fisher and Desert Monkey, proving to me that he should be in the runnings of what I was talking about of a private tournament between like those couple of racers. So congratulations Monkeyman with a higher finish than I gave you credit for getting in this particular part. And Dantafanter crossing the line there with Brandon Black narrowly edging out Lucas Bolton. That was very close, there's only a 1.5 seconds in it. So yeah, mid-tier, like Mayo Doctor running away with it a little bit along with Cola Pro, but other than that it was pretty tight. And then the final 5, we're going to see how the rise and fall of Nintendo Gen 64 being, I think, the only person going for the trick out of these 5. And ironically, being the only one who knows it, he ends up finishing last because of it. That's what you call a tragedy or a comedy, which are two sides of the same Greek coins. Assuming the Greeks still have any coins after all the recessions they've had. So we're going to see Nintendo Gen go for it here, but he lost all of his speed there, okay? He's already kind of made a mistake. He's over-prepared for the jump, and now he's flattened himself. Completely lost all momentum. Yeah, that's a big, huge waste of time. His rivals are about to reach where he would have got if he'd have just kept to the strat of going straight. So yep, they've overtaken that now, even Mum. But yeah, that just demonstrates that you can afford to mess it up a couple of times before it's super costly, and there he goes. And finally he resigns to going the straightforward route, which is going to lose him a lot of time here. He's already about 30% of the track behind everybody else. I think Dede's leading the pack by the looks of it, followed a turn away by Space Weeb. Nina Cortex a turn away from Dede, and Mum a turn away from Nina. Nintendo Gen just coming up to the final couple of turns, still significantly behind. Is his rubber banding going to turn on, and is he going to catch up? Well, we know the answer already is no, but you can wish it could happen. Dede losing a little bit of speed there as he grinds along the barricade. Glad we got to see these racers take this route though, because if everyone took the shortcut, we're missing out on a little bit of the track every single time. And it's one of the cool parts of the track. It was kind of a bit of a weird thing in the tournament that people are like, yeah, I don't really care for Oxide Station, particularly the part with the anti-gravity, and I thought it was, I don't know, I think it's just a really nice set piece and a really cool part, and I do enjoy taking the route when doing things casually. Nintendo Gen trying again to get the trick. Is he going to get it this time? Nope, that results in another failure, so that's, you know, like another 10 seconds lost. Only one attempt that time, so it's a little bit less of a failure than the first time. I mean, look at that, a 1 minute 47 lap compared to Dead A's 1:12. That's pretty huge distance. Speaking of Dead A, he's approaching the end of the first third. Space Weeb is about 7 or 8 seconds behind him. Nina about 5 seconds behind Space Weeb. Mum about 5 seconds behind Nina, and Nintendo Gen about 35 seconds behind Mum. So yep, we can see clearly Dead A's far enough ahead of Space Weeb where he's going to comfortably finish here in the next spot, which is pretty awesome. Space Weeb is definitely going to claim the spot after that, with pretty much at 7 stone at this point. Nina taking the spot after that, Mum after that, and Nintendo Gen. This is the final lap. Is he going to attempt the trick one last time, or is he just going to say, you know what, this has been a disaster, I'm going to just finish? He is, and he gets it. He gets it on the final lap, which is enough to close the gap by a good 20 seconds, but it's just not going to be enough. You can see he's just too far out of the runnings. Even if you look at the little mini-maps there, Mum's on the last loop and he was just exiting the loop before that. That's still like a 10-second gap. And not the smoothest of control around the edges there, but he's going to trundle over the edge. Alright, and that concludes all of the races and the final couple of seconds of the actual tournament action before we get to the leaderboard. So Luke, 30 points, he got first place. Very, very, very narrow margin of victory over Yoga with 242. MTB claiming third with 243, that is insane. There's like half a second between those three runners. Mayo Doctor, oh, he actually beats me as well. Mayo Doctor getting a 246, 2 seconds ahead of me, getting 20 points. I get 18 points with a 248. Then there's a 8-second gap between me and my rival Cola Pro, 256. Psychic Game with a 3 minute due to that mistake. Dr. Monkeyman in 8th with a 301, just behind Psychic. Dr. Monkeyman nearly beat Psychic, that's crazy. Crystal Fisher in 9th with a 306. Desert Monkey with a 308. Dan Tafanta with a 328, 12th place Brandon Black with a 330, Lucas Bolton in 13th with a 331, King Dead in 14th with a 338, Space Weeb with a 351, 16th Nina, 353, Mum 404, and then a pretty sizable gap from Mum and Nintendo Gen 64 of 8 seconds, getting 18th and claiming just 2 points. So he'll be quite disappointed with that from what was, you know, a pretty good couple of performances from Nintendo Gen in a couple of the tracks, but it's a shame it had to come crashing down, finishing in last place at the end there. Alright, Yogamonia tops the final standings of the entire tournament, so congratulations Yogamonia. Something we've known for a while, but it got close. Look at that, 40338. Luke did a really good job of like pulling it back on Yogamonia, so that was a really close match. Luke getting second silver medal. Third place is Psychic Gamer claiming the bronze medal, so congratulations to our top three of Yoga, Luke and Psychic. Fourth place, MTB misses out by about 40 points. He probably would have, you know, pushed for third place if he had not been balanced the entire time. Fifth place is Cola Pro with 291 points. Sixth place is me with 285. Gotta believe if there was a couple more tracks in it, I might have pushed Cola Pro to take fifth. Mayo Doctor, sizable gap between me and him, 228. Despite that really strong finish at the end. Desert Monkey moving up from 9th to 8th place, so he finishes in a solid 8th, top 8, which is a really good finish for Desert Monkey, well deserved. 197 points, beating out one of the favourites of top 8, Brandon Black, by just a single point with 196. Crystal Fisher in 10th place with 189 points. Moving up from 13th to 11th, oof, look at that, a steal at the last minute from Dr. Monkeyman, making it to 11th place with 146 points. Fantastic effort to get onto the left-hand side panel, Dr. Monkeyman in the final race. That was your definite best performances. You nearly even beat Psychic with that great stuff. 11th place did not play Al, 146. Like, even though he's joint points with Dr. Monkeyman, I think it's fair to say that Dr. Monkeyman is the true 11th position. Al, getting DNFs. So I think that's a fair result. 13th place. So we will say Al's 12th place. 13th place is Dantafantu with 143 points. And the reverse numbers is Chambersaurus, who dropped that spot to Danta at the end, dropping down to 134. We'll see where Chambers may have ended up if he takes part in the What If challenge. I'm pretty sure we're going to see him as a What If position of top 7, top 6 positions for sure. Lucas Bolton got 15th place with 124 points. That's a very solid finish for Lucas Bolton. I think he should be quite happy that that's kind of the region that he landed in. Not too far from your Dantafantas, and a sizable distance behind the bottom a couple of players. Nintendo Gen 64 actually drops a position here, so King Dedede moves up from 17th to 16th, stealing a spot from Nintendo Gen due to that really bad last performance by Nintendo Gen and the pretty solid performance by Dede. 82 points to 80 points. Space Weeb consistently in 18th with 56 points, staying where he is. Looper 45 points. Mum was only 2 points from taking over Looper. That would have been pretty hilarious to see Looper finish at the 20th spot, given that he was one of the favourites to win. But just credit to how well Looper did in the first 2 tracks to still not be last place. And then finally, with 38 points, we have Nina finishing in 21st position. So yeah, thank you everyone. This has been a really long journey, a roller coaster of a journey. Started off strong, very good first month of the tournament, maybe 2 months. First 2 months of the tournament was really strong, solid, lots of interaction, great stuff. And then, as the tournament dragged on a little bit due to just like the way I wanted to do things, it's a shame that it fell off a little bit from month 3 onwards. But we've learned our lessons. We're going to make sure that the next time that we do a CTR tournament, that it's a lot more compact. The idea that we're floating around at the moment is that there'll be like 8 random tracks on Nitro Fueled. So you might be seeing some of these tracks again, but hopefully they'll be varied throughout the different games. And those 8 tracks will form a season, and instead of doing every single track, there'll be 8 tracks a season. And who knows, maybe a season would be done once per year or something like that, just to keep things fresh. So thanks everyone for watching, and this is the end.